Hi, this is Linda with the Life Station Express, the relay station. We bring the news to you, and today's news is I've picked up a little more information about my health journey, and I wanted to share that with you. Now, I'm going to preface this by saying this is my journey, and this is what I've learned for my body, for myself. Now, in general, the things that I talk about, anybody can do and is perfectly fine for anyone. But in specifics, I'm going to share a little bit more about what I feel like my body needs and what my body has experienced, I guess you would say, recently. And I'm going to try to put this in a short, concise video without going too far into detail, because it's not the details this time. It's a general it's a general thing that I've just learned, and I'm talking about just as in yesterday. So I'm in the camper. It's quiet in here, and I'm going to try to sit still. I'm sitting on the bed. As you can see, there's the head of the bed, and that is a shelf that runs along the ceiling, well, the wall, I guess you would say. And this is the tongue side of the camper. So this wall is sloped, and the bed is at this end of the camper, and the kitchen is at the other end. My foot is on an air compressor. There's a generator and a vacuum sitting in the kitchen floor, so that's why I'm facing this way. I like to have the kitchen as my background, but today I'm going to be sitting on the bed and sharing the things that I learned. Now, this is just something that I've just started looking at, and it makes so much sense for me. Now, as you know, I've been keto for the last it was 2 years the day after Thanksgiving. So it's been 2 years and a couple of months, and I've had great results. And again, I'm not doing keto for weight loss. I am doing keto for my health, for my body. Just to recap, I had a stroke 3 years ago. They call it a small stroke, but when you have a stroke, it's not small to you. So I did have some, I guess you would say, symptoms from that took over a week for doctors, emergency room people, testing to figure out that actually what was happening to me was a small stroke, because it took a whole week for the process to be played out, which I think is probably not usual. Usually it's a quick, swift occurrence, but mine was not. Leave it to me to be a little oddball. Anyway, so having found that out through an MRI, I did have a CT scan at the one point when I went to the emergency room because my face was getting numb. They thought I had Bell's palsy. I still have some residual effects, I guess I would say, on this side of my face. And my left hand was semi-paralyzed. I couldn't use my fingers. That is pretty much, I'd say 95% better now. I can pretty much, do this, which was something I could not do before. And I couldn't shut this eye. So that's why they thought I had Bell's palsy. Anyway, fast forward. Went on keto, took care of a lot of the plaque that was in my carotid arteries, which is why you have a stroke to begin with. And you can look all that up if you want to research what is a stroke. It affects, something breaks off in the carotid artery. It goes to the other side of your brain. So I had this one in front of your neck is where your carotid arteries are. This one was 100% occluded. This one was 50%. Now, according to my test that I had done last May, I believe, they are both less than 50%. So keto is working. The plaque is leaving my body. And in the process of doing that, I lost 20 pounds. Now, I'm a small person. Most people would look at me and say, why are you doing this? You don't need to lose weight. I've been through this before so many times. I did not do this for weight loss. Although, when you hit a certain age, you do start getting the middle weight put on. And one way you can tell that you do have some issues in your body is you'll have this weight on your stomach. So I had some of that. I had a little weight back here on the side of my back, which, boy, I didn't like that. But anyway, that pretty much left with the 20 pounds. So that's my body. That's what happened to me. Here's the thing. since we've been home, and by home I mean not up at the campground for the 6 months of the summer, since we've been in our apartment, I've changed a few things, and I did not realize those few things were going to make a difference. Now, what I changed was I started eating a lot of bacon, and I started eating butter bites. Now, throughout this, since October to now, we're in the mid-February, I've put on like 7 or 8 pounds. Now, 7 or 8 pounds to someone may not be a lot. For my body, it is. I was 98 pounds most of my adult life. And not until I was in my 50s did that start going up. So it is alarming, you know. And I did a video last week, and you can go back and look at that one, where I'm trying to figure out what's going on. And I said in that video, I got my summer jeans out to see if I could still put them on, because I could feel, and the scale told me, there was 7, 8 pounds back on my body, and I didn't know what I was doing. Well, come to find out, I'm eating too much fat. And when you're on keto, yes, you can eat fat. Fat will not harm you. Fat does not hurt you like the doctors tell you. But if you're eating fat, you want to make sure it's not seed oils, that it is animal fat, lard, butter, tallow, bacon grease. And I use that, but I was eating too much. I was eating too much fat. And I found that out. And I'll tell you how I found out. I started, you know, I listen to everybody. I listen to doctors. I listen to people that have had experience. I listen to lots and lots of people. Lots of people, because this is very important to me. I want to be healthy. I listened to Maria Emmerich, and she and her husband, Craig, have been doing keto and health improvements for over 23 years. So she knows what she's talking about. She's got a lot of science behind what she says. So yesterday, I kind of avoided listening to her because she is so scientific and so, you know, do this, this is what you need, this is what you, and I was like, you know, I'm more of a free person. I don't give me those strict guidelines. But I went to listen to her yesterday, and she started talking about sometimes we get too much fat, and yes, even too much saturated fat. And she explained, and I'm just going to say this really quick because it's the way I understood it. I would really suggest that you go listen to her. She's got so many videos, so many recipes, so much good knowledge. And I'm not saying I don't listen to Dr. Barry anymore, or Joe and Rachel, Two Crazy Ketos anymore, or any of the other doctors or anything. I totally still listen to all of them, because everybody has good, valid information. But we never stop learning, do we? We should never stop learning, ever stop learning. So this is what I've learned for myself, for my body, and I'm just sharing it in case you have either hit a stall in your weight loss, or you're feeling something different in your body after you've been doing this way of eating for a while. And that's where I was. I felt different. I felt different in my midsection, and the scale was telling me things were different. Now, a lot of people don't go by the scale, as I said in my last video, and that's fine. If you're doing weight loss, or if you're on carnivore, you may not want to weigh yourself. You may want to just do measurements and see if you're building muscle, and they're tested to see if you're building muscle. Say the scale's not moving, you may be building muscle when you get more protein. And yes, we want the protein, we need the protein, yes. And I still need to pick up on the protein a little bit. But some of the changes that I've had to make, or I realized I had made since being down here in our apartment for the winter, yes, I'm more sedentary, I think, a little bit. I'm not at the campground. I'm not working in the bathrooms. I do that in the summer. I help keep the bathrooms in the campground cleaned up. And that's a little physical, not a lot, but you know, I'm not doing that while I'm here. I was making butter bites. Oh my goodness. I love butter bites. They are so good. They remind me of butter popcorn. I mean, the flavor is amazing. And I was with my daughter-in-law the other day, and I showed her how I do it. And if you like butter bites and you want to eat them, fine. I was eating too many. Actually, I was eating so many, I had to go to the bathroom more than I should. So anyway, I knew I was getting fat in my body that was affecting me in that way. And I knew that something was different. Something was allowing me to pick up some weight around my middle again. The scale was telling me so. So anyway, I did, like in the last video, I did try on my jeans from last summer and they did fit. But I'm thinking if I keep going like this, they're not going to. They're just not going to. So I watched a video that Maria and Craig Emmerich did with Dr. Ted Naiman. I'll spell it. Naiman. And you can find that on YouTube. And I learned a lot more, even after what I listened to her say about the fat intake. I have been doing bacon, a lot of bacon, since we've been down at the apartment. And I have not been doing my morning breakfast that I used to do in the campground. I don't know why I changed. It was just something different. I'm at the house. I got a bigger kitchen. I was making a lot of bacon. So I was eating at least 3 strips of bacon a day, but that was almost every day. Almost every day I was having bacon and 2 eggs. The 2 egg part, fine. Eat as many eggs as you want. I might even start eating some egg yolks only. But anyway, for the protein. Anyway, and the vitamins and whatever. Eggs are almost a complete meal. So I was eating a lot more bacon. But at the campground, I'd make bacon Saturday or Sunday morning. That was it. I was eating my chaffles, the Wonder Bread chaffles mostly, or the regular chaffle, which is cheese and egg, with guacamole on the top of them. So 2 chaffles with one of those little pots of guacamole would fill me up. It fills me up. So I was eating that almost every day while we were at the campground, and I was losing this middle weight. And I'm talking about the middle weight. Other people that are bigger than me, they might see a difference in their face or their arms. This is my midsection weight I'm talking about. That's where I feel it. I've been starting to feel like not as, I don't want to say the word good, but just a little, like not as good as I felt this summer. So after I watched her and she talked about bringing the fat down a little bit, she did not say you don't have to have fat. She said you need at least 30 grams every day, everybody. And I think that's a little different than some other people that talk about having your fat and protein ratio being the same, or 100 and 100 or whatever. For my body, for why I'm doing keto, which is to keep my carotid arteries clear, I need to cut back on the fat. Now, if you are doing keto and you've reached a stall, but you've picked up on a lot of fat, like the butter bites, they're very popular right now and they're delicious. And yes, if you want to get some fat in where you maybe are eating a little leaner, make them, eat them, but don't eat them every single day. I'm not, and don't eat a whole bunch of them at once, because I found out you can't do that. Anyway, I'm just sharing this right now, and this is already 13 minutes, so I'm going to keep it under 15. I'm going to keep looking. I'm going to keep studying. I'm going to keep working on this, but I just wanted to share, if any of you out there have reached a stall or you felt different in your body, like I'm just feeling a little different. I felt better last summer than I feel right now. I don't feel bad. I do not feel bad. I feel good, but it's not as good. So I want to feel as good as I felt last summer. So I'm just sharing that with you. So I would ask you or suggest to you to check out Marie Emmerich. She is a professional. She's been doing this, and look at her. She has no fat on her body. She's in her midlife. She looks really good. Her husband, Craig, same way. Now he deals with severe Lyme disease, and he's suffering with pain in his body because of some other things, and they were working on that as well. And they just have so much head knowledge about what your body needs, nutrients, the fat, the protein, exercise. She's got a lot of things on her website. It's huge. She has tons of books, tons of recipes, and you can just look at her and say, hey, this woman knows what she's talking about. So while other people look really good, Dr. Barry looks awesome. Joe and Rachel look awesome. Dr. Berg looks awesome. These people are doing what they need to do for their body. I'm just saying, for my body, and the reason I went on keto was to clear my arteries. The one thing that they did say that I understood was that you have only so many fat cells in your body. And I probably don't have as many as somebody else, a bigger person. They may have more fat cells in their body. And when you fill your body full of dietary fat, we want to use fat as our fuel. But if we fill our body with too much dietary fat, this is what I'm understanding. If I'm wrong, correct me, please. If you only have so many fat cells, which I probably don't have as many as other people, and I'm chucking them full of fat, then the dietary fat is what is going to be spilled out into other parts of my body, basically triglycerides, which go in your blood. And that's what I need to be really, really careful on, is the triglycerides. So I think that's all I'm going to say. I ask you to do your own research, look these things up, see what you think. And if you have something to tell me, because I'm thinking wrongly, please do so. But as of today, this is February 15, 2023. Did not have bacon this morning, and I'm not eating any more butter bites for a while. And I'm going to see, I am going to watch the scale, because that's the only way I can tell. I'm not the kind of person who can measure. My body doesn't move and change that fast or that often. So I'm going to watch the scale. And if it goes down 4, 5, 6 pounds, and I get back down to where I was this summer, and I was healthy and I could move really well and I felt awesome, then I'm going to keep leveling that out, and I'll work it out for myself. But I just wanted to share that with you. I thought it was extremely important. We can go too far with something when we're first learning about it, and we can go gangbusters with it, and then like, oh, I've swung this pendulum a little too far the other way. So I'm leveling mine back into the middle, and that's where I want to be, the middle for me. So what's the middle for you? Have you figured that out? I would love to hear about what is the middle, even balance place for you. And please share that with me. Share it in the comments. I would appreciate it if you would like and share this video. If you would join my YouTube channel, that would be awesome. And that's all I had for today. This is Linda with the Life Station Express, the relay station. Let's take care of our bodies. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.